Today's story begins in Memphis, Tennessee, in 1987. Cherise Christopher, a young mother, was at home with her two small children, her 2-year-old daughter, Lacey, and her 3-year-old son, Nicholas. One night, a brutal attack took place inside their apartment. Cherise and little Lacey were killed. Nicholas survived despite suffering multiple stab wounds. Prosecutors argued that Payne was the attacker.
A jury found Payne guilty of 2 counts of first-degree murder and sentenced him to death. But the case that reached the U.S. Supreme Court was not about whether Payne committed the murders.
Instead, it focused on what evidence the jury should hear during the sentencing phase. At the sentencing hearing, Lacey's grandmother testified about the devastating effect the murders had on the family. She described Nicholas growing up without his mother and sister, and the pain the family would carry for the rest of their lives. Payne argued that this kind of emotional testimony, known as victim impact evidence, was unfair. Welcome to Once Upon a Case, because the law isn't just for lawyers, it's for everyone. Just a few years earlier, the Supreme Court had ruled that such evidence generally should not be presented in capital sentencing because it could improperly influence a jury. The question before the court was, should it follow those earlier decisions under the doctrine of stare decisis, or should it overrule them? In a 6-3 decision, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of Tennessee. Chief Justice William Rehnquist wrote that earlier cases had been wrongly decided. The court held that the Constitution does not automatically prohibit victim impact evidence, and that juries may consider the harm suffered by the victim's family when deciding a sentence. The decision became a landmark because it demonstrated stare decisis. The principle of following precedent is important, but not absolute. When the court believes an earlier constitutional decision is seriously mistaken, it may overrule it. And that's the story of Payne versus Tennessee. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, watch this case next.